Tonight, new developments in our coverage of alleged horse neglect in Conroe. It's a story you first saw on Channel 2 News at 10 last night.
Over 200 horses have been seized from a Conroe horse spring facility after allegations of malnourishment.
That's right, and a few brave employees are speaking out and telling me it's been going on for years.
Most of them are emaciated. Their tailbones are sticking out, their rib bones, their backbone. You name it, you can count every bone on their body.
For many, this was a hard scene to stomach. A 3-month-old colt struggling to walk, another limping across the field, this one collapsing to the ground in the heat, needing an IV in over an hour's time to stand again.
They said he probably doesn't have a chance. He died within a few hours.
This morning, dozens from the Houston SPCA and local volunteers stormed the ranch to provide medical assessments and save those left with a fighting chance.
I mean, this is no small undertaking by any stretch of the imagination, but we're working through it.
This all boils down to what's best for the animals.
But former employees say the mistreatment of these animals has taken place for years. And when ranch owners force them to partake in the activity, they quit.
In my mind, I'm like, this isn't right.
Christopher Keith says around 30 horses have died under the care of the ranch owners, and he was often told to transport these bodies to what was known as the boneyard.
We were told, tarp it up, make sure no one can see what it is. They're just taking them out there and dumping them in this little wood grove on this other guy's property.
Last night, the owners Herman and Kathleen Hoffman were arrested, facing multiple counts of animal neglect.
Now, the SPCA estimates it will cost $500,000 to properly care for the horses.
Every parent worries about a time where their child could potentially slip out the front door and make a run for it. Unfortunately, that happened to a Houston family. Channel 2's Ashlyn Turner has more on how it happened and who found him.
A Good Samaritan's motherly instincts and quick thinking saved a frightened and lost little boy who was found wandering down a busy road alone. Meet Shamika Jefferson and baby Joseph. Little Joseph attempted to make a run for it earlier this morning down a busy North Shepherd road.
He was standing in the street by himself when I was driving by, so I saw him, no grown-ups around, no people at all, so I stopped him.
That is where Shamika scooped him up and brought him here to the grindhouse.
This woman came in, she had a child in her arms and, in distress, and she's asking for help. And we had an officer in here, so he jumped to the situation and took care of it.
Luckily, the teacher and mother of 3 was quickly able to get the attention of nearby HPD officers to help locate this little boy's home.
She came around the corner, and the way I looked at her and the way she looked, I thought, oh my gosh, there's something wrong with this baby. She opens the door, tells me she just found that baby just right down the street.
HPD officers then went looking for anyone in the area who recognized this little boy. They were able to reunite Joseph with his grandmother, who lived not too far from the grindhouse off of Marcella Road. Jefferson says she does not consider herself a hero. She claims she was just doing what any other mother or teacher would do. CPS will be investigating into this issue just to make sure that this situation doesn't happen again and little Joseph stays safe. I'm Ashlyn Turner, reporting for Channel 2 News.
And promising developments in the fight against Ebola. The World Health Organization released initial findings from a trial run of the Ebola vaccine in Guinea. Results show that the vaccine was 100% effective in preventing the disease after 10 days. We talked to a UT doctor who had a hand in the development of the drug.
I'm very excited. It's very encouraging that this vaccine looks to be protective in humans.
Tests are underway to see if the vaccine could also protect pregnant women, children, and adolescents. The shot could still take months to get licensing.
Gorillas came to the Houston Zoo earlier this summer, but visitors at the exhibit today got to see more than just animals monkeying around. Channel 2's Megan Mystery was at the zoo finding out how people can help save these animals across the globe.
The Houston Zoo has their interns from the Collegiate Conservation Program out here at the gorilla exhibit to educate the public on what they can do to help this endangered species.
10 interns spent their morning advocating for zoo visitors to take little steps that can help protect gorillas across the world. Their idea was to simply recycle your cell phones.
It's any type of electronic. So you can do tablets, you can do cameras, GPSs, Wi-Fi hotspots. They all have a metal in it that's called tantalum. And the tantalum is mined directly on top of the gorilla habitat in Africa.
The zoo keeps a bin out front every day for people to drop off their electronics for recycling.
We send it to EcoCell, which is a company that takes those pieces out and they sell it to companies like Apple and other places like that that can reuse it.
McMinn says that recycling things like your iPhone 4 means less of the gorilla habitat is destroyed for mining. Our Click to Houston has more information on how you can recycle your electronics. Megan Mystery, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
The Houston International Jazz Festival celebrates its 25th anniversary this weekend. The event is taking place at the Bayou Music Center through tomorrow. Mayor Nice Parker will honor recipients at a scholarship brunch and host a summer jazz workshop Sunday morning. And also, debris from a missing flight may have resurfaced.
And the American dentist who's making global headlines for his controversial kill may have to go to Africa. Rachel Wensloff is here with the stories topping news around the world.
500 days later, debris from a lost flight could be that of MH370. The flight and its 239 passengers haven't been seen since March of 2014. Investigators say they are almost certain they have found a piece of the plane wing from the missing flight. It washed ashore on Reunion Island on the Indian Ocean on Thursday. The debris hasn't been confirmed as that of the flight, but investigators are hopeful. And the American dentist known for killing Cecil the Lion may be headed to Zimbabwe. The country wants to extradite Walter Palmer to face punishment. Palmer, however, is nowhere to be found. Officials have stopped by his home and office and have unreturned phone calls and emails. If an extradition request goes through and he's found, he could face a $20,000 fine and up to 10 years behind bars. And terror at a gay pride parade in Jerusalem this week leaves 6 people stabbed. 2 of the 6 were seriously injured. The man responsible is no stranger to this crime. Yisal Sishol was released from prison only 3 weeks ago after serving a 10-year sentence for stabbing 3 people at a gay pride parade back in 2005. Prime Minister Netanyahu assures people that the government will pursue justice for those responsible. Amani and Jacqueline, back to you.
Now, training camp for the Texans is about to get started, and they will have a big quarterback competition on their hands. Still ahead, head coach Bill O'Brien weighs in on the situation next in sport. But next, a consumer taste test.
Our consumer reporter tests a product college students might want to take to school with them. How well the ramen cooker really works. Up next.